I rise today in opposition to the underlying bill. This legislation makes dangerous cuts to essential anti-hunger and nutrition programs. In addition to their plan to privatize Medicare, House Republicans are now proposing to cut the Infants and Children Program, otherwise known as WIC. This is a much-needed federally funded health and nutrition program which provides support, resources, and education to low-income women. This preventative public health nutrition program connects mothers with prenatal care, increases healthy birth outcomes, and educates new mothers about caring for their children and providing healthy food options for their families. In my home state of California, there are 82 WIC agencies serving over 1.4 million women, infants, and children. But the bill before us today cuts $650 million from the program, and these cuts we cannot afford to make. There are 2 WIC programs at work in my district, and I recently saw firsthand the critical demand and need for their services. I witnessed the long line of women trying to provide for their families and trying to receive the support they need to have a healthy pregnancy. This WIC office alone had a caseload of over 32,000 individuals a month, but can only serve 30,000 because of a lack of resources. In this economic downturn, people who never before knew about WIC now find themselves relying on their services to feed their families. These include state workers who were furloughed, nurses and teachers who've lost their jobs. Unfortunately, demand for these programs is increasing, not decreasing. Employment rate at 12%. These resources are not only needed and appreciated, but are vital. One recipient is a mother who once thought WIC was only about giving free food or formula to low-income families. But her perspective about the program changed dramatically when she enrolled in the program herself. As she was expecting her first and only child, she entered the program to help her family make ends meet. Throughout her pregnancy, she received nutrition information and referrals. Unfortunately, she was diagnosed with gestational diabetes, but because she was on WIC at the time, she was seen by the dietitian every month. With WIC support, her baby was born healthy, and she had the support she needed to provide for her family. But the cuts in this legislation do not end at WIC. The Commodity Supplemental Food Program, which helps supplement meals for low-income individuals, and the Emergency Food Assistance Program, otherwise known as TFAP, which provides food banks with food they distribute, are both on the chopping block. A month ago, I visited the Stanford Settlement Senior Center, which participates in the California Emergency Food Link Senior Brown Bag Lunch, run by volunteers, many of whom are recipients themselves. The California Emergency Food Bank distributes over 80,000 pounds of food per month to approximately 8,000 low-income seniors in need in Sacramento County. For many of these seniors, this is the only nutritious food they will have for a week. TFAP also provides funding for approximately 18% of food that comes into the Sacramento Food Bank. This food bank provides a 5-day supply of emergency groceries to those who are struggling to get by, and over 18,000 individuals receive fresh groceries from this site every month. In addition to all of the cuts I've mentioned, the legislation also includes report language to stop the process of updating the school nutrition standards. It is essential for our students to have the nutrition they need to be productive and successful at school. In the Sacramento City Unified School District, approximately 67% of students are eligible for free and reduced lunches. Without an investment in proper nutrition, these students will not only fall behind in their studies, they can also face serious health issues. Unfortunately, the legislation before us proposes some of the hardest cuts to endure. I urge my colleagues to oppose this legislation and yield back the balance of my time.